Hi, welcome to Ikate's Crossing. Okay, so what I want to look at today is what questions do we ask the cards? Okay, I'm sort of like, I just want to sort of have a bit of a change. And if you want to donate for a reading, see the link, pinned link or the link down below. That's cool. But what we're talking really today is I want to hear your thoughts in regards to what questions to ask the cards. So let me add this to the stream. This is my blog here, and you can sort of see here what some not so great questions. So let's have a look at the not so great questions here. Hi, Lynn. Kia ora. Welcome. Lum, how are you? What are your thoughts in regards to questions related to tarot? What are some questions that if you're reading tarot that that people ask and that frustrate you, or questions that are you think are great questions for reading tarot? So here I've got here is not great questions to ask, like will we get married? What will my future spouse be like? Will we reconcile? How does he or she feel about me? When will I achieve results? Should I do this? How does they react to me doing this? Will I get the job? Will I pass the exam? Yes and no questions do not give you full answers with the cards. Timing questions that start with when will something happen does not allow for action to be taken. And then I have great questions to ask the tarot. So then I have great questions to ask the tarot. And we go, what can I do to improve my journey, finances, well-being, health, and career? What does Spirit, the universe, need me to know? What do I need to know, read, love? How can I improve my relationship with my current partner, with my children, family, co-worker, boss, etc.? What is hidden from view that is of value to me right now? How do I react this way? How can I create well-being in my life? What do I need to do to manifest boundaries in relationships? What is the foundation of this current relationship? What is my current partner's effect on myself? What do I need to know in relation to this situation? What can I do to balance out my health? What do I need to know re my finances, career, love, friendship, family, etc.? If wanting a timing question, think in periods of time. For example, what will happen in the next 3 months at work? What do I need to know about the next week with my relationship with current partner? And any other suggestions? Is putting the words together. Oh, you've got a brain injury, Lim. Well, that does make it hard. I can understand that. So having the what and who questions are good. Okay. Interesting indeed. So I got in the mail from Hand Me That Pencil the new Elder Stories Tarot. Have you seen it? I love Hand Me That Pencil decks. I reckon they're excellent. I've got a selection of her decks. Oh, I said it's like lime. Sorry. Oh, okay. Lime, like as in lime. Okay, yeah, gotcha. Yes, I know the tick. Yes, lime seeds. Yes. So I just really wanted to throw that out there about the questions and things to ask with tarot. Really the best type of questions to ask is, you know, things like, what do I need to reflect on today? What do I need to know about today? I think like, oops, hand me that pencils. Thank you, Lime. Thank you. I've got hand me that pencils. These are really good, where they got when love will arrive. The face of my love. I don't really like those cards. Relationship challenges, what to leave behind. But they're okay if they're in a context of a large reading. What do I need to know? My self-reflection focus. What is hidden? The negative. They're good if you're going to do out like a 3-card spread or something, or even a 2-card spread and choose like 2 cards. So you've got what will test me, what they want, the best outcome, my strength, the obstacle, what to accept, what to consider now, what must be released, my fears, past influences, the gains to be had, the positive, my emotional needs, the overall theme. That's a good one to do. The outcome, what to shed, my potential, where the power lies, where wisdom is found, my divine purpose, what to reject, what to gather, my future joy, a positive development, how to self-protect, my soul's true path, a helpful resource, how to overcome, resolution of my goals, my common sabotage, what grounds me, my fulfillment, an alternative solution, how to connect, a message from spirit, the sticking point, the past, how to communicate, the best path to take, the devil's advocate, what's entering my life, what the situation is, the future, who can best help me, how support is present, intuition secret, this day will bring, how abundance comes, what lesson is needed, and then the present. So those are really good to do, like choose 2 cards that you can reflect on today, which are quite a good way to do it. So what I'm going to do for you, Lime, is you're the only one, you're here. So I'll do you a 2-card, I'll do you a reading. Lime, I'll do you a reading. So was there anything in particular that you wanted to know, Lime? You're welcome, Lime. You're welcome. Your support means a lot. You being here. Oh, hi, Tristan. Yeah, I'm just talking about different questions to ask for tarot. And using the right words is really good, because what it does is when you use the right words for a tarot reading, it's going to give you clear information. It's going to give you what you need. Not necessarily what you want, but what you need in a reading, which is really, really important. And so a couple of little things to think about is when you keep asking the same question over and over again, the universe gets a little confused because the doubt has crept in. So that shows up in the reading. And so the readings can get a little bit muddled, can get a little bit confusing. You can think about other things that happen when you sort of, if you're not well, if you're anxious, the cards can pick up on you being anxious or uptight. If you're not well, sometimes the cards can pick up on that sort of energy as well. If you're not calm and relaxed when you're getting a reading and you're very uptight, the cards are going to show that very clearly in the reading as well. And so it's really important to not keep asking the same question over and over again, the cards. The best way for you to get the best out of the reading is to ask the question once, listen to the message, walk away, re-listen to the message again, and reflect and contemplate on the message that you're given. And then once that's sort of sunk in a little bit and you've moved through that process, oh, you're playing, your phone died. That's all right, Lime. That's okay. So yeah, really important that when you have when you get a reading, is that you actually take your time to listen, to meditate, to reflect, to contemplate, to think about that message and what it means in the moment. Okay, it's also really important to know that the future is never set in stone. And tarot is really good at giving you insight into the moment, knowing that things can change depending on choices, which is really important here. So just some things to sort of think about when you're doing a reading. So when you receive a reading or doing a reading yourself. So Tristan, do you read cards yourself? Do you read tarot cards yourself? So I think that's really important to just think about, you know, when you do get it. When I do a reading for myself, I will pull, what do I need to reflect on today? And I pulled 3 cards, right? I pulled 3 cards. Oh, you're starting to learn tarot recently and you want to get better. Yeah, it takes time. So how long? When did you start learning? How long have you been learning, Tristan? Okay, Tristan, the best thing to do, what I did a few months, okay, the first thing you do is keep it simple, okay? But first thing you do is you ask, what do I need to know about today? What do I need to know about today? Okay, and then you pull, what do I need to know about today? And then you pull just 1 card to start with, okay? So the card today is 3 of Wands. So what do I need to know about today? I need to know about pausing for a moment, to have a look at where I'm going, look at my goals. Okay, so that's something I need to reflect on today. Okay, the other thing to do is when you think, okay, what can you tell me about the 3 of Wands? Okay, so what can you tell me about the 3 of Wands? And what I do is I pick 2 cards. And I get 6 of Swords. So it's about me moving forward. Okay, so your 3 of Wands is talking about being contemplating and deciding on where I want to go. And then it's about moving forward. Okay, and the second card I get is about defeating, about being a winner, about feeling like I've achieved what I need to achieve. Okay, but also maybe looking at things, maybe I need to also look at things that what have I needed to defeat? What have I needed to overcome? What challenges mentally have I needed to overcome? So say Lynn goes, what do I need to reflect on today? So let's do one for Lime, okay? For Lime. Okay, so for Lime, we're going, what does she need to, so what does Lime need to reflect on today? What's really, oh, card flew out then. Okay, so I asked, what does Lime need to reflect on? And it talks about King of Swords. So Lime needs to reflect on the sense of analyzing the situation. She needs to do a lot of thinking about how she can communicate, how she can be logical in the situation that's going on for Lime. Okay, so for Lime, there's a lot about the sense of analyzing, deep thinking, being able to communicate in a logical way, clearly. Okay, so let's tell her, we ask, okay, so we've got so we need to, so Lime needs to reflect on the King of Swords today, right? So let's tell it, so tell us a little bit more about the King of Swords. Okay, so tell us a little bit more about the King of Swords. So she's talking about communication, we're talking about ideas, plans, practical ideas and things like that. Okay, so we're talking about Page of Cups. So she needs to make sure she's in alignment with herself, that she's feeling a little bit that her emotional needs are taken care of. Lime needs to make sure that her emotional needs are taken care of today. That's going to be really important, that she's taking care of her emotional needs, and that will bring her a breakthrough. Once she actually finds herself that she feels like she's more in alignment with themselves, Lime feels like she's more in alignment with themselves, it's going to allow them a sense of understanding, a breakthrough. Okay, so this is a really great way to read the cards. Okay, Tristan, I hope that sort of helps. Keep it simple. Keep it as simple as you can, and that's a great way to start learning the cards. Now let's have a look at the imagery a bit more. Okay, so let's see if we can get a little bit more out of the cards by looking at the imagery. So say we've got the Elder Stories Tarot here, okay? So we're not doing Rider-Waite-Smith, but we're doing Elder Stories. So what we've got here is we've got a guy. He looks like he's sitting at a radio station, or he's sitting at the computer, and he's got schedules. It could be a radio station. He's got a microphone, lighting. He's got keyboard. So it's all about that communication. It's all about being able to, and he's got it, and everything's in schedules. He's got schedules up here and plans. So everything about planning everything. So it feels like everything's got to be planned and sorted out. Maybe Lime is really important that they put, it's really important that you put, thank you, Lime, appreciate that. So you've got all these schedules here. So things are planned. So in a practical sense, a logical sense, maybe Lime's got to make sure that she's scheduled everything, that she's got everything planned. It's not just about communicating, but it's also about making sure that everything's planned, everything's clear. We've got good lighting, a good microphone. We're sitting with our back straight. So we're making sure that we're taking care of ourselves mentally as well, which is really important. So you're looking at all the things in the imagery. Okay, now we've got the next one here. So we've got the Page of Cups, right? And we've got this naked. So you're feeling very vulnerable. So there's a sense of things being revealed, things being brought out into the open. Okay, and then we've got this art, beginning to do artwork. So maybe she needs to be a little bit arty. Hi, Whitney. Welcome, welcome. So only Lime's going to know what this card actually means for them personally, right? But we're looking at all the things that we could be doing, maybe being a little bit artistic, or doing something out in nature. Doing something out in nature is going to be really important to them, because we have the nature scenery here. Okay, and we've got a cloth here that's going to catch the drips. So maybe it's about just making sure that our well-being, our emotional needs are all taken care of. So yeah, I do feel that's very much being in alignment, being things there. And then we have the rose, or we've got a, yep, feels like a rose, and it's being bound. It's being pruned. So there's new growth coming. So it could talk about some growth and expansion in regards to energy moving forward, which is really important. So keeping it really simple when you're learning, Tristan, is so important. Keep it really simple with the readings. Don't try and get too complicated. Don't do any of the large readings. Keep it really, really simple. So how did that feel, Lime? How did that feel with that really sort of very clear, what do I need to reflect on today type of reading? only you will know what that all means and what it, what it actually relates to, or what it resonates with, etc. But I do feel like you're going to have this new growth, new expansion, understanding. Aces are all about the sense of as air element, so it's all about thought and ideas. Ace is about new beginnings as well. So yeah, it can be quite interesting to sort of start looking at when you're learning tarot, to keep it really, really simple, and that allows for the best questions. Okay, things like, what do I need to reflect on today? What do I need to contemplate? How did the day affect me? So it could be the end of the day for you, Tristan. Okay, so it's the end of the day. Let me grab a different deck. Let me grab a Rider-Waite-Smith type deck. Okay, so let me just grab, I don't want the before one. Let's just grab a Rider-Waite-Smith. Cool. Oh, I'm pleased about that. Tristan, okay, so what has your day been like? I presume, Tristan, are you, yes, it's night for you, right? Okay, so what was your day like? So you could ask, what was the theme of today? What was the theme of today? What did I have? What happened today? What was the theme of today? So what was the theme for today for Tristan? Okay, so we have the theme for you today was about the truth, was about honesty. Oh, you're in London. Okay. Okay, so you had, today was about the truth, your ideas, your plans, the sense of, again, like you said, with work. So communication at work, maybe there was a sense, it's interesting that we're getting a lot about the swords here. So Queen of Swords was your theme for today. So what does the Queen of Swords mean to you? When you see this card, Tristan, what does it mean to you when you think of the Queen of Swords? We know swords are about ideas, plans, communication, intellect. It's about your mind. So maybe you've had to nurture your mind quite a lot today. Use your mind, use your thoughts and ideas. That's been quite a big thing for you today. Okay, so what else does the Queen of Swords mean for you? Oh, okay. So I just want to see what your thoughts are, Tristan, in regards to the Queen of Swords. She's accepting a challenge and ready to fight. I don't know what your day was like. Interesting. So it felt like so what you've got here is interesting because we have the 10 of Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles is all about a wealth. Oh, I need to fix this up. My skylight shines through and I can't see the cards. Right, so we've got the 10 of Pentacles about things coming together, inheritance, like you've been given something. So did something feel today that you were given something maybe something came in abundance and you had to look at, it was a day of learning, discovery, as you were given something. So you felt like you had some challenges today mentally. So that's why you were nurturing your mind. You're an engineer and make a lot of things. You solve challenging problems. Okay, so you have to use your mind. Your mind's a big thing today. It's always about things are challenging. So with Queen of Swords, yeah, you fixed something. Okay, so it felt like you were, yeah, felt like there was a lot of you had learned how to fix something, or you knew how to fix something. So everything sort of came together in the end. Because you fixed it, sort of felt like everything sort of came together in the end, that everything sort of come together. So yeah. What do you think, Tristan? So yeah, what was your theme for today? Was the Queen of Swords. Tell us a little bit more about the Queen of Swords. You got the 10 of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles, which is interesting because Pentacles is very much about the business side of it. It's all about the sense of, it's sort of definitely feels like a career type energy. And then the Swords was all about the mind, the thoughts, the intellect, the intelligence there. Yeah, this is a really good one to do. First, you do what was the theme of the day, if you're doing a reading at the end of the day, or what do I need to reflect on today, if you're doing it at the beginning. Hi, Jed. How are you? So keeping the reading really simple is going to allow you to start learning the cards, Tristan. It's going to allow you to keep it really simple. Like, what do I need to know about today? What do I need to know in regards to my family is another one. Or what do I need to know in regards to my relationship? How can I improve my relationship? And just do 1 or 2 cards or 3 cards at the most. You do not want to do any more than 3 cards. Oh, I have to go to a car appointment. Okay, awesome, Lime. Take care. Take care of yourself. So pleased you popped in and sort of got the beginning. So yeah, so really important when you're learning, keep it really simple, Tristan. Okay, keep it, Tristan, keep it really simple. Really simple questions. If you've got something like a cards that show, I know this is a bit hard with being in there we go. These sort of cards here are also another way. Just choose 2 or 3 cards that you can reflect on. This is another great way to getting a deck that shows spreads that you could use for a spread. Use 2 or 3. So you just keep it really simple. It makes it really easy. Just 2 or 3 cards is the best way of doing it when you're learning, Tristan. I found just using 2 or 3 cards was a really good way to start learning the cards and putting them together. So yeah, this is a sort of questions that you can sort of ask if you're just doing, what do I need to reject today? What's my divine purpose today? Where is wisdom found? Where does the power lie today? What is my potential? What to shed? What do I need to let go of? What do I need to release? What will the outcome be if I choose to do this? What's the overall theme of today or the week? What are my emotional needs at this time? What's the positive out of what's going on? What are the gains to be had in regards to the situation? What are influences from the past that I need to deal with? What are my fears? What must be released? What do I need to consider right now? What do I need to accept? What obstacles do I have during the situation? What is my strength? So if you're keeping things really simple, Tristan, it's really important here. What's the best outcome? What do they actually want in this relationship? What will test me during this relationship? What conflicts will arise during this situation? What might be the negative influences at this time? What is hidden? My self-reflection focus. So what am I reflecting on at this time? What do I need to know? And what to leave behind? And what are relationship challenges? So they're really good. Another really good deck that I'm not sure if it's still available. Let's just see if I've got it here. It's another really good. It's called the Higher Soul Link cards. It's interesting. I thought I had it here. Might have shoved it over here. That's what happens when you live tiny. Oh, I don't know where they are. Higher Soul Link cards anyway. You'll see them on my channel. You'll see a thing with it. So, has anyone got any questions in regards to learning tarot? The best type of questions to ask, or what do you need to know? Maybe you want to have a look at what a card particularly means, or maybe you've done a reading for yourself and you're unsure on what the interpretation could be. So maybe we can look at that. So have you got any questions in regards to learning tarot that you'd like to know? Have you got any questions in regards to So have you got any questions in regards to learning tarot that you want to know a little bit more about? Maybe you want to ask me a question about my learning tarot. How I've what decks have I been using? How do I choose a deck? Do you want to know those things? Do you want to know my first tarot deck that I used for readings was actually the Native American tarot. A friend of mine had it. I picked it up. I read with it. She grabbed it back off me and told me to go buy my own, which I did. And I've used this deck for over 20 years, 23 years. Hi, Egyptian. Yeah, I'd love to know what other people feel. Or asking about other people. Okay, when you ask about someone who is not present, it is called a third-party reading. And you're not really going to get super clear answers unless it actually affects you. Or how can I support somebody? You could ask, how can I support that person? What do I need to know in regards to that person? But be very careful about the wording you use. Be very careful about, why you're doing it. What is your intention to doing it? Tristan. Asking about other people. You need to be very careful when you ask about other people, because you really need to think about, does this affect me? Am I asking for a reading about this person because I want to know how to support them, or I want to know how it actually affects me? Or what do I need to know in regards to so-and-so? So I think it's really important that when you're asking about somebody, you're asking about, how does it actually affect me? Because also sometimes the universe is not going to give you the answer that you want to know. You might say something like, oh, what's happening with so-and-so's relationship and so-and-so? What's happening with so-and-so's relationship? And the universe is going to give you a whole lot of gobbledygook. They're going to tell you that because it's none of your business. It's a little bit like the celeb readings. I know people do those celebrity readings online, and they're all about what's happening with the president and what's doing this celebrity and that celebrity. But what you're doing is you're intruding on their private life. And to me, it becomes more about ethics than anything. How does it sit with you when you're asking about their personal life? Would you like someone to intrude in your life? So that's when you've got to think about when you're asking about other people. Would you like that person to know all about you and your business? And if the answer is no, then don't ask it. I have a real thing about doing celebrity readings and things like that, or doing readings on people who are not present, because I feel like I wouldn't like them to know about my personal life. So why should I know about theirs? Unless it's actually affecting me personally. How are you going, Egyptian Famous? So yeah, Tristan, I think that's really important to think about when you're asking about other people. Because what you're doing is you're intruding on someone's personal life. And would you like it if they read about your life, if they were knowing all about your business? And like, remember, things are not always set in stone. We don't always know what other people are thinking or what's going on in their life, what choices they're going to make. So yeah, that's something to sort of think about, Tristan. When you're doing a reading about something, ask, would I like them to know that about me? It's about, where does it sit with you? Does it feel okay to read, or do you feel like you're intruding? So, Tristan, what tarot deck are you using for yourself? Or what tarot decks are you all using? Do you have a big collection, or just one or two decks, or what tarot deck are you using for reading tarot? This was my very first tarot deck, the Native American Tarot. And I used it for expos, reading for myself, reading for clients. And it took me a while. It took me a couple of years before I was reading for myself, and then I was reading for friends for free. And then some of my friends were like, oh, wait a minute, we're going to pay you for reading. So they gave me a few dollars. That was all cool, and I didn't mind that because they appreciated it. I mean, you still get the odd person who was like, oh, can you read for me? And of course, they didn't offer to pay you or anything. And then I had to sort of put my foot when they continually, because people do continually ask. So you've got the Rider, and you've got a Thoth deck, or the Crowley. I also have the Crow Tarot. Okay, you feel like the deck hates you. What it does is it's giving you a kick in the teeth. It's most probably giving you, do you find like the Crow Tarot is giving you messages that seem harsh? You will find some decks can be quite harsh in their messages. Would you believe it? When I first started reading, and I'd read with the Native American Tarot, and I got the the Sacred Path cards as well, and I got a few other animal medicine cards I had at the time, and a few other decks, right? Crystal Alley cards, but I had the original. Now I've got the Evolution edition. Those were the sort of decks that I read with, right, to start with. And then I picked up the Angel Tarot. Okay, we'll just say by Radley Valentine. We won't say the other name. Okay, so I picked up the Angel Tarot, and people were going, oh, it's such a fluffy deck. It doesn't, the messages are all too positive. Okay, that's an interesting thought, Tristan. It's like maybe it's a deck that it's sort of got some stuff in it that don't look at me, don't like you. Sort of, that's an interesting energy. That's interesting, the Crow Tarot. Maybe it's not a deck for you at the moment. Maybe it's a deck that's saying that you're not ready for it. Okay, it's a sort of an advanced tarot deck. Maybe it feels like it's a bit too advanced for you at this time. Maybe it's saying, yep, okay, so maybe it's a bit too harsh for you right now. Maybe you're not ready for the Crow Tarot, so you just put it aside. Put it aside. There are some decks that are not you might not be ready for to read with. So I found the Angel Tarot. Oh my God, the messages were so harsh. If I didn't just look at the keywords and the sentences, I mean, these are great decks for starting out when you're learning tarot. These type of decks are really good for starting out when you're learning tarot because they've already got the keywords and things on it. But I found the messages that were coming through were quite harsh. Even though people are going, oh, it's such a fluffy deck and it's really positive. No, not for me. That's interesting, Tristan, that you found. So I think maybe, so what we might need to do is, okay, so why? So you might need to ask your Rider-Waite or your Crowley, why? Okay, why is the Crow deck? What's the best way to use the Crow Tarot for Tristan? Okay, I don't have the Crow Tarot myself, otherwise I would use it. So let me see, what would be the best way for Tristan? So why is Tristan not able to use the Crow Tarot? Let's have a look. Why is Tristan not being able to use the okay. It's interesting. Four of Vessels. It's all about you not being able to see the bigger picture. Oh, cool. Okay, Tristan. So it feels like with the Crow Tarot, it's something you've got to grow into, give birth to. Okay, you're not quite seeing the bigger picture in regards to the Crow Tarot. Seems like all the things there. You're not quite seeing the signals and what's happening. It's something, it feels very intense energy with the Crow Tarot. It feels very intense. And it's going to be a real journey. Okay, the Crow Tarot is something that, again, I think you have to grow into, develop, move through. It's going to be at the other end here. I feel like it's going to be at the other end of your journey. I think you've still got a lot to learn before you can start really using and moving through until the Crow Tarot is ready for you. So I don't think you're quite ready for it. I don't think you're quite able to see the bigger picture. You're feeling like you're missing the signals. You're not able to see the signs in it, understand the messages with it yet. Still not quite ready. It's something that you need to put away for another day. So maybe that's something with the Crow Tarot that you can think about, is actually putting it away and just leaving it, and you'll know when it's time for you to use it. I feel like it's quite an advanced tarot deck because it's not a traditional Rider-Waite Smith. Maybe it feels a bit more advanced in regards to the deck. That makes sense? Yeah. Okay, I want to talk about another, when you're learning tarot, like I talked about with Radley Valentine's decks with all the keywords and things on them. The other decks that I think are really good in regards to keywords and things like that are the decks by Jane Wallace. Let me just grab. Oh. Sorry, I'm just trying to move things around here. When you, like I said, when you live in a caravan. So some of these decks here, all by Jane Wallace. Okay, absolutely excellent for learning tarot because they do have some sort of keywords on them. How did I grow my intuition with my readings? Okay, first thing I did with my Native American tarot deck is I would take one card a day to begin with, okay? One card. And I would write down in my journal everything that I saw in the image, okay? Let me just put these decks away because I need to sort of make some room. Okay, so I started with just one card a day, and I would write down everything that I saw in the imagery. So let's have a look with the Native American tarot that I was doing. What I would do, I began with the Fool. Let me just grab the Fool, because that's always the good one to sort of start with here. And I want to grab the Fool from the other deck as well, from the Rider-Waite-Smith. Okay, so there's your Fool. So I wrote down what I saw. I saw the sun. I saw a clown type figure. Okay, he's actually walking backwards, but he's got a dog. He's got a napkin here, a handkerchief type thing tied up. He's walking on a cliff. There's some trees in the thing. There's a blue sky with slightly grey thing. So I wrote down everything I saw in the imagery. So let's have a look at the Fool with the Rider-Waite-Smith. So what you do is you in your diary, in your journal, on a bit of paper, on the computer, anywhere you like, on your iPad, your phone, whatever you've got, in your notes, take the Fool card to begin with. And whatever deck you've got, it doesn't matter what deck you've got, but just begin. And then you write, okay, a young man stands on the edge of a cliff. Okay, it's on the edge of the cliff. There's snow-capped mountains in the background. The sun is shining. There's a dog. He seems to be looking up in the air. He's got a pole with a little knapsack on the back. He's holding a white rose here. He's holding a white rose here. He's wearing a green and orangey type outfit. He's got a feather in his cap. So you're writing down and describing, hi, Rashima. Yeah, so you write down in your book, in your journal, your bit of paper, whatever you want to do, an exercise book, whatever. I just used an exercise book. Okay, so I write down everything that I see in the thing. And then I go, okay, sun shining. So sun shines on the day. Okay, so it's bright. It's a 0. So 0 is about stepping out into from the void. So from the void into a path of light. He's young. He's free-spirited. The dog is loyal. He needs to be cautious. He needs to be aware of what lies ahead for him. Maybe the snow is melting. So things are starting to thaw a little bit. So he's starting to feel like he's it's a good day. Maybe with the right rose sense of purity. So there's this innocence about him. So you start to sort of grow your sense of knowledge. What does the Fool mean? So I think these decks here by Jane Wallace are really good too. Let's look at the Moon and Stars Tarot. Okay, so that's going to teach you a little bit about the astrology, if you want to learn a little bit about that, which is quite cool. So let's have a look at the Fool here. And these are quite good because it gives you another thought. Just looking for the Fool. Because what we want to do is look at different Fool cards. So this is a great way in learning tarot, is by taking out your deck. Look at all your Fool cards that you've got and look at the differences. This is what I like about the Hermit's Cave, is that in the Facebook group, they're doing, looking at different cards each week, and they start with the Fool. And so you've got everybody showing all the different Fool cards, which are quite interesting to look at from different decks. And then it's the Magician, and then the High Priestess. So I'm just looking at the Fool. Where are we? There we go. There's the Fool here. So this one here feels like it's the Moon card. So it gives a different feel. Okay, so it's not a bright day. It's a moon. It's a cycle. Feels like you're moving into the unknown with the Moon card. So you can see, as you look at the different Fool cards, what do they actually mean? So let's look at the Elder Stories Tarot by Hand Me That Pencil. This is a new deck here. Oops, sounds like my phone's about to go, but that's all right. So here's the Fool card here, where she's waiting for a bus. She's got a bag packed, ready to go. You can see this is sort of a woman. She's quite trendy, quite hip. It says that she's ready to go anywhere she wants. Something's for sale. Starting over is just not for the young. It's also for the brave. Next bus in 20 minutes. She's got dollar signs on her belt. She's ready to go. There's a doorway behind her that she's left behind. So what does the card actually mean? So you can see the different energies. Whoa! The different energies with the Fool card. Oh. Just getting the cards. So you can see. So this is a really good way to learning tarot. That's how I grew my intuitions and my readings, is by looking at each image and just taking a moment to have a look at each of the images here. So just taking a moment, having a look at all the different Fool cards. And you can see with the Moon and Stars Tarot by Jane Wallace, her cards talk about change. So things are changing in some ways. It's taking a chance. Whether it's change or chance. I never really looked at it, to be honest. So let's have a look, and then we have a look at the book. Beginnings, protection, or change. And her keywords are beginnings, protection, change, adventure, openness, and freedom. So the Fool was looking outward with his trusted dog, protecting him and following his every move. He carries a small bundle filled with tools needed for his journey ahead, representing knowledge. The Fool is preparing to take a leap of faith as he trusts the opportunities the universe has brought to him. The new moon is a sign of new beginnings, with the light shining brightly behind it, showing good intentions, and the twinkling stars representing opportunity. So the meaning is change. So the Fool starts a new journey, awaiting exciting opportunities to come. You may be looking for new adventures or a fresh start. This card comes up when you need fresh challenges and is a desire for freedom and adventure. However, think carefully before diving into something new or unknown. So the star message is, have faith in yourself and believe in new beginnings. The Moon magic affirmation. I embrace change and I am ready for something new. So that's what you're going to focus on sort of today, is just sort of give you an idea by reading what the book says. Yeah, background. So that's why it's quite good to sort of pull out your different Fool cards. Have a look at the different imagery. Have a look at some of the keywords and think about it and create your own reference book, your own journal. I think that's quite important when that's what I started to do, is I started to create my own reference book, taking 2 or 3 keywords that seemed important in the moment, which you'll find will change constantly. And I don't know why I just realized that that book was in there from the Magical Nordic, another one of Jane's decks. So let's have a look at the Fool card in this one. That's the Hierophant. So let's have a look at the Fool card in this. So it's really good to just have a good look at all the Fool cards to start with. Just take your time, one day at a time, looking at the Fool. And have a look online. Have a look in different, this one says New Beginnings. So it's important to sort of have a look at the different decks, have a look online, have a look at different people's learning videos, and just spend the time just getting to know the Fool. And how does that relate to you at this moment? So the Fool stands in an ice field gazing at the northern lights. Enchanted, he watches as the bright lights gently move towards the ice, reflecting the ancient Nordic belief that the world began its journey, as the Fool is doing now, as fire and ice, before the two collided and created the world and its first inhabitant. A white wolf, symbolizing protection, accompanies him. Dressed in simple clothes, he is open to anything and everything and bravely steps out into the world full of excitement and hope. So his keywords is innocence, journey, enthusiasm, optimism, and joyfulness. The message, my journey through life starts now. Meaning the Fool represents the start of a new journey in work, love, or even location. A leap of faith will be required as you turn away from what's comfortable and embrace the unknown. New relationships, exciting job offers, and opportunities to live and work in exotic places can all be expected. And this is a great omen for anyone who's thinking of starting a business or changing their career path, encouraging you to be daring and brave yet practical. It symbolizes the start of a new and exciting chapter in your life. According to Nordic myths, the first inhabitant of the world was a godlike giant called Ymir, Y-M-I-R, who gave birth to the other gods after drinking some milk and sleeping. So it gives you another perspective. I don't expect you to don't learn all the meanings. Just absorb them. Just spend some time with the meanings and just getting to know the different thoughts. And then maybe write down 1 or 2 points that make sense. Don't have to learn all the cards, but it just shows you different cards. And these are great cards for learning. There's one on Oceanic Tarot, and there's one on Crystal Power Tarot, which gives you a little bit more crystal energy. So these are great decks with keywords and things on them as well. So yeah, I think working with tarot really allows you to develop and grow. So anything else, Trish, any other questions anyone has in regards to learning the tarot? Just keeping it really simple. I find another good thing to do is just okay, so you've been learning the cards slowly, you're looking at all the different cards. Okay, so you've looked and you've learned a little bit about the Fool, you've learned a little bit about the magician, what the magician is, etc. Okay, another way I like learning a new deck is I like to take okay, is to take the Fool. Okay, so we're going to start with the Fool. And then we're going to take the Magician. Let me have a look. And then what we're going to do, let me take the Magician. Where are we? So I just want to do this. Just grabbing the cards here. It's hard when you're trying to do. Okay, the Magician. Okay, so what you want to do is say, what message would the Magician give the Fool? What message, if the Fool met the Magician, okay, the Fool met the Magician, what message would the Magician give? Okay, so the Magician is going to say to the Fool, you need to use your skills and your abilities. You have to look beyond the illusion. You have to see what happens inside affects the outside. You know, things like that. So what message would the Magician give the Fool? What message would the High Priestess give the Fool? What message would the Empress give the Fool? What message would the Emperor give? What message would the Hierophant give? And what message would the Lovers give? And the Chariot. Okay, so you're going to do those few cards first. Okay, so what message would each of these cards give to the Fool? Now, if you laid them out, let me move these to one side. Okay, so got these cards here. And then you're going to tell a story. So the Fool arrives and he sees the Magician standing at a table with his tools. He's got one hand up in the air and the other hand down below. He then moves on to the High Priestess, who he sees sitting in a chair between two pillars. She's got a cloth behind her that's got pomegranates on it. She's got a book on her lap. She's got a crescent moon at her feet. Next, he moves on to the Empress. The Empress. I can't even say the word. Empress. And she's all about, she's sitting there on her out in nature. And she's got a shield with the Venus signs on it. She's got trees in the background. She's holding a scepter. We have the Emperor arrives. The Fool arrives with the Emperor. The Emperor's sitting in his chair all regal-like, all in charge. So these are the sort of things that you can start to do to learn the tarot, okay, and develop. So you're asking yourself, so you're getting to learn what the tarot deck is all about. You're learning what the cards mean when they interact as the Fool travels through the cards and meets. The Fool arrives and meets the Lovers. He sees that they're naked. He sees that they are with an angel above them. There's a tree with a serpent wrapped around it. Another tree with apples that they're tempted to eat. There's a volcano in the background that's erupting, or ready to erupt, if you like. You can say whatever you like. It's just things that could come into your mind. So you're talking about passion and relationships and choices that to be made. So these are other ways to learn tarot. So you're learning by making sure that you ask simple questions. you keep it really simple. What do I need to know about today? What's really important for me to know in regards to this situation? So those are the type of things that you want to sort of think about. Using a spread type deck. There's some decks out there that actually have a spread creators. There are quite a lot of them that have like words on them to create a spread. Those are really good ways to do that. Having decks with keywords on them can be really, really good. Like the Jane Wallace's decks. There's the Field Tarot is another one that is got keywords and things on them. My Native American and the Minor Arcana do have keywords. The Thoth deck does have keywords on them, even though they say that it's more an advanced deck, because it's not a Rider-Waite-Smith, it's quite different. Yes, making a story out of it so you can understand it. Another thing to do, okay, so you're doing the major arcana, so you've done that, you've gone through it. Now then you can do it with each of the suit. Put the full working its way through the wands. So what happens when the full meets the Two of Wands? What happens when the full meets the Ten of Cups? So you can start building on it. Another thing you can do for learning, Tristan, is also doing a meditation with the card. So take the full card, take these out of the way. Okay, so take a moment to step into the full card. So you're stepping into the full. You become the full. So what do you see when you step into the card? If you become the full, what do you see when you peer over the edge of the cliff? So the other things you can do is when you're learning, it's the before and after. So let me just grab the full. Just to give you another perspective, there's different decks that will get you to have a look at the cards from a different angle, a different perspective. And that's another way to sort of learn the cards. It's a way for studying, for learning, for self-development, for study. I spend hours doing this. Just going through and having a look every now and then at the cards. So here we've got the Fool where he's fallen off the cliff. So that's the afterwards. Just trying to, I'm not sure which way it goes when you're looking. Okay, so let's do the other one. So there you can see the Fool. He's bending down and smelling the flowers, the roses, the white roses, and that's where he's going to pick it. He's going to pick the roses before he moves ahead. So he's taking his time. And what happened is he was so busy looking up in the air, he fell over the cliff. Yeah, he's about to fall and doesn't realize it. So he's being warned to be cautious. The dog's trying to warn him to be cautious. And he was so busy looking up in the air, he fell off the cliff. So you've got decks like that that get you to look at it from a different perspective, from a different angle. So it's just giving you a way to sort of expand your knowledge in regards to the Fool. I know we're only focusing on the Fool at the moment, but you can do it with the rest of your deck. But I just want to sort of give you an idea how you can move forward on that. So here we have the vice versa tarot. Okay, so with this one here, this is him standing on the edge. I know it's slightly different. He looks different because this is a low scarabeo. So it's a different company. You'll find with the this one here is the US Games. These are low scarabeo as well, the before and after, and low scarabeo with the vice versa. Now you've got this here. And then that's the back of it. So you can see behind him before he steps over the cliff. No, I don't normally, but I just thought for a change I would. Normally I just go and do some videos and just upload them on my channel. So there's lots of things that you can do, you know, go through and have a look at some of my videos, and you can see some of my learning videos, some ideas and suggestions and how to learn. But I felt like today I just wanted to just to share a little bit of knowledge and just give people a chance to ask any questions that they might have. And I know not everyone's interested in learning tarot. A lot of people just come for the free readings, but I really felt like today I didn't really feel like doing any, you know, too many readings. I know I did a couple before for Lyme and for you just to explain a little bit, but I didn't mind doing that just to show you a little bit about the cards. But yeah, so you have to go and sleep. Yes, you better go and sleep. What's the time for you? Must be nearly 10:30 if you're in the UK, in London. Oh, I'm pleased I was able to give you some ideas, some suggestions. Oh, I've been on for over my hour, so that's quite good. Yeah, 11:30, 13 hours. Okay, yeah, we're quite funny with daylight savings hours and things. 13 hours, yeah, 11:30 for you, 10:30 for me in the morning here. So yeah, hopefully that gives you some ideas to look at when you're learning the tarot, that you're not trying to get too overwhelmed and trying to do too much at once, but just working through really slowly, keeping a journal, looking at the different full cards, give you that option to be able to see the full from different angles. Oh, you work early tomorrow? Yeah. Cool. Well, hopefully that sort of gave you some ideas. I don't know if no one else has really sort of been asking or anything questions, but I hopefully gave you some real tips and sort of moving forward on your tarot journey. Just make sure that's in the right deck. Yeah. No, New Zealand. New Zealand. I'm in New Zealand. I'm in Hawke's Bay, New Zealand. Yeah, I'm pleased it was able to help. That's cool. Give you some things to look at, some different explorations, because you will find some tarot decks are very advanced, and they can be a little bit confusing when you're starting out, when you're just beginning. So giving these little bits of a tips to sort of how you can start to learn and explore allows you that ability to develop. So yeah, hopefully that sort of gave you some information. Okay. Yep, explains the yep, me being in New Zealand for sure. Yeah, well, hopefully that, yeah, I'm pleased that it was able to give you some insight into learning. So that was cool. So yeah, I actually live in a caravan. So I try and put things away as I go. Otherwise it gets rather untidy. Yeah, so night, take care. So I don't know if there's anyone else still here. Just want to share a little bit. I wasn't worried about doing readings or anything like that, but really just wanted to share a little bit about questions, the best questions to ask with readings and what you can do to learn and develop. So I don't know if anyone else is still here. Anyone else is listening? But yeah, that's it from me, I think. So let's just go ending soon. So yeah, I have to get a new bag. I'll get some more bags, I think. Don't really want to put that in there. So night, everybody. I'm just sort of cleaning up my space as we move. Right, so let's put this all back. Oh. Whew. Right, I think that's it. Okay, so okay, night everybody, take care, blessed be, thanks for being with me. Okay, let's finish up. Oops, what did you take?